Well, the new machine I'm playing with today, not new, I've had it probably 7 or 8 years, but I'm getting to it now, is a Bradley Model A. A simple little box phonograph. Bradley was one of the many off-brands that existed in the teens and 1920s, taking advantage of the portable phonograph craze. This is obviously a portable. And let's take a look under the lid. I'll show you a really cool horn design they have. It's a fairly solid wooden box with a fabric cover on it of some kind. Not really sure what that is. Looks like a dark burgundy. Not dissimilar to the 260 I just did, actually. Now, this is the motor compartment. Still see factory markings in there. This is the horn. Look at this little box arrangement they have in here. Oh, carefully nailed together and steam bent wood. I don't know what that is in there. It kind of looks like bird droppings, but this is where the tone arm would go. And the sound comes out there. Don't know how it sounds yet because I haven't had it operational. It needs to be fully serviced first. And you can see, made by Bradley and Robertson, Brattleboro, Vermont, Model A. Serial number 1835. Nice tag. Now, obviously, I don't know if Bradley made the box or if they subcontracted it. A lot of these off-brand machines were assembled, sometimes wholly built by other parties, and then just somebody put their name on it, in this case Bradley. But the unique design of this machine makes me think probably was, maybe the case was made in-house, and obviously the motor and the hard parts, little bits and pieces, were made by Heinemann. This has record storage in the lid. That's what that little nut there is for. You put your records under there, you tie that down, it holds it. It's a small box. It's about the same size as a Cirola. A more conventional design, however, with the horn the way it is. Most horns were not that elaborate, though. A lot of them were paper mache or light tin or just kind of a piece of wood folded in there. This is a very substantially made machine. It's good solid wood. Everything's put together nice. We got a few little issues. Have to take care of that, which is nothing but gluing and clamping. Clean up whatever that mess is. Now, one odd thing about this machine is it doesn't have like a dedicated spot to store the tone arm. The tone arm doesn't stay mounted on the machine. It just slides into that, which is located there, and you just put it in when you want to use it, take it off, and you store it down in the horn. A little awkward to get it down in there, but it does fit. The Cirola has a little door on the side. You slide it in there, and much more secure storage. Now this, I don't know if that's pot metal or not, because it's not showing the signs of deterioration I would expect to see in pot metal. This could be actually aluminum. Don't know, and obviously I don't want to have to start chopping things up to find out. I don't see any cracking. I don't see any splitting and bubbling that you would expect to see, which is very typical of anything pot metal, especially when it's approaching a century old as this is. Nice big diaphragm on that one. Diaphragm looks in good shape, and don't know if that's mica or glass. Could be either one. Obviously, it's going to need gaskets. I could see it has some kind of a thin tube gasket in there. We'll find out when I take it apart later. Other than that, it seems fairly conventional in design. Not too difficult to get it apart. No name on it. Kind of surprised Bradley didn't put their name on it, have their name put on it. I suspect it was made by the Heinemann Company, as the motor was, but I don't really know. Nice design, and this one will swivel. See that? The collar there? That's to swivel this sideways. If you want to play, say, an Edison Diamond disc or a Pathé record, you can. I don't recommend the practice, but you could actually do that with this one. Conventional turntable. There's a little crank there. Well, let's have a look at the motor. And you can see this also has one of those leather handles. And you can see how it's starting to crack. So you definitely would not want to trust the machine. For its size, this machine does have some weight to it. With that kind of wood, it's not going to be lightweight. So I would definitely never ever trust a handle like this to lift the machine. Always carry it under your arm when you see a handle like that. Okay, we have a needle box here. Let's see what's in it. Come on. There we go. Oh, look at that. It's full of needles. All different kinds of needles, even some blued needles in there. All right. We will, oops. Save that for later. Speed control. Look at how the board is really nicely varnished. It almost looks fresh. It's not. It's a century old, but it almost looks fresh. I don't think this machine saw a whole lot of use, to tell you the truth. It just doesn't appear that it did. This is the Heinemann Motor of Quality. And it does have kind of a brass and composite sandwich on the gear, which you can't see because it's covered with grease, but it's there. Early fiber gear. And I think that answers the question I had the other day on where that oddball governor weight came from. That was on the Victrola 2-60. There it is. It's Heinemann governor weight. I thought it might be, wasn't sure. Didn't remember. These were good motors. This has two small springs in it, similar to what the Swiss used. And I'm sure that, this motor actually really isn't even that dirty. Surprisingly, I would have expected it to be a lot worse, but it's not. I mean, it is pretty well sealed in there, but still, you expect to find all kinds of dust bunnies and dead bugs and other things stuck to it, but it's just a little bit of grease. It's not that bad. I didn't spin it up or anything like that to see if it thumps and bumps. We'll just assume it does, because I'm going to clean it anyways. It doesn't matter. You can see how they attached it here. And you notice that they actually varnished both sides of the board. You don't usually see that. Don't know why they would bother, but it's still nice. There's a piece of paper board there of some kind. Some rubber washers. They used to be rubber. Now I'm sure they're hard as stone. I'm going to try to preserve them, but if I have to replace them, I have something I can use. And here's your speed control arm there. Never been off by the look of it because it's all wired in place properly. So that will get fully serviced, of course. There's your brake. Looks like any other brake. Got a little crack back there, but that's not enough to worry about. And you can see where somebody closed the lid on needles a few times, because the reproducer head be sticking out here and be jamming in there. But that's all right. It's not going to hurt it any. Case is in surprisingly good condition. There's no major damage to it anywhere. Nothing's peeling off it. Nothing's been nibbling at it. A few little signs here and there of stretching, but that's about it. Not bad at all. And look how heavy that lid is. I guess because it's meant to carry records. So they made it deep and they made it strong. Regular hinges on it. But that's a preliminary look at the Bradley. The Bradley Model A. I guess that would imply there was also a Model B and C, and I don't know, because I have zero information on this manufacturer. I don't know. I can only guess at the era, which is obviously going to be the early to mid 1920s. I recognize a few of the parts, but it's just one of hundreds and hundreds of different companies that stuck their name on some form of phonograph, between 1918, actually 1900 and 1930. Although this one would be towards the later period, towards the craze for portables of the 1920s. Everybody wanted a portable machine. And all these companies kind of rushed in to fill the vacuum left by Victor, who didn't really get into the portable business until 1921. They sort of missed the boat a little bit there. And when they started making portables, the Victor Victrola 50, and they could not make them fast enough. Every one they made flew out of the factory. So that left a lot of room for these companies like Bradley or Cirola or Outing. There's another one, a Cariola, and hundreds of other ones, PAL, to slip in and kind of take over some of the market share. With little machines like this, tiny dealer networks, a lot of them are sold out of catalogs, the camp phone, stuff like that. And this is one of the more interesting ones because most of them follow a pretty straightforward design. They look like a little suitcase. Horns are kind of in the same place. Everything's normal, conventional. This one's a little different. Only in, the style of motor they chose to use, how they set up the motor board, and the type of box. And that nicely constructed horn. They took some work on that. Look at the nails. It's almost like a cobbler did this. Look at how they spaced out the nails perfectly all around, except that one. Is that a nail? No, that's just dirt. The others are nails. Did a really nice job. Instead of just molding something out of paper and shoving it in there, or cardboard, they actually made it out of wood. I'm wondering if Bradley might have been a furniture manufacturer, because that was a common thing with cabinet makers and furniture manufacturers of that era, to start a line of phonographs. I mean, they had everything in-house to make the box. All they needed was a motor, a turntable, all the normal phonograph-type parts, which the Otto Heinemann Company in New York City would gladly sell them by the thousands. Heinemann made so many different kinds of motors, I'm sure it has filled a book somewhere just on the different varieties that they made. Whatever you wanted, they'd make it. Whatever you needed. For your machine. They didn't make machines themselves, but they made parts for all the off-brands. Number 35. Wonder if that was a 35th case they made. Who knows? Never really can tell from serial numbers. Oh, wait a minute. Isn't that the last two digits of the serial number? I forget. What did I say that serial number was? Oh, yeah. 1835. Yes. It matches the serial number. Number 35 for 1835. Ha! Mystery solved. But there you go. There'll be more videos when I get it back together and it's playing again. There's no reason why it won't play. Everything's here. Everything's intact. It's just a matter of scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing. And I'm kind of used to that. Really nice color on that motherboard too. Almost reminds me of some of the HMVs. I guess Buster's not particularly interested today. Oh well. Oh, to sleep like a cat.